It's math time with Mr. Mock. It's math time with Mr. Mock. It's math time. Hey, Math 8. Wanted to just do a video for you today that isn't too crazy. I'm just going to be going over all of the problems that I had assigned yesterday and Tuesday. So your objective right now is to simply watch the video, kind of compare what your answers were to these 4 problems with what I'm saying, see if you're right. If not, kind of like reflect on what I'm doing, how I'm going through the process of explaining it, because that's going to be very similar to how you should be doing problems like this. We'll do a little bit of review, and then tomorrow I'll have a whole nother assignment for you. And that one's going to be more, it's going to be summative. I'm going to ask you some questions. I want to see what you really know about you know, rigid transformations and congruence and what a translation versus reflection and a rotation are. So those are going to be like the key components there. And it's not going to be too many questions. I might give you 20 questions, maybe like 4 or 5 questions. I'm still working on that today. Anyway, let's get down to it. We have the first problem here, which we're looking at this top shape, all right? And we're trying to find, from this one here, which of the 4, A, B, C, or D, is congruent to it. Now remember, when we're talking congruent, that means everything about the shape is the same. Now, show of hands, which I know it doesn't mean if you raise your hand, great. But show of hands, how many of you had A? Looked at it and you're like, well, clearly A is going to be it. And I get it. That's what they want you to pick. They want you to pick A because, you know what, you're right. You know what's congruent? The sides are congruent. This side is congruent to this side, and this side's congruent to that side. And, and I can do my draw tool, and we can like totally show it. Like, look, check this out. Do this, do the side, and then I come over here and select it, and look at that, boom, same. So you're right. That diamond is the same. But here's the thing, right? With congruence, everything has to be the same, right? So check this out. Oh, actually, that's not the tool I want. Let's go maybe here. Oh, that's a pencil. What's the tool I want? Maybe it's this one. Nope. Who knows? We'll go here. So when you're looking at this, look at the dots. Check out those dots. There's a bigger gap here than here. So just like the face problem that we talked about, where the eyes were a little bit further apart on one of the faces and closer on the other, right? So then they weren't congruent. It's the same thing here. These dots, the blue dots, are further apart, not congruent, right? So now let's go over here. Ooh, let's take this length, because we know that's the right length, and put it here. And uh-oh, it's smaller. So it can't be B. The diamond on B is too big. And then look at the dots here. Wait a minute, the dots on this one, the blue dots go across like the longest part of the diamond, whereas this one is the shorter side, right? This is this would be the longer side. So this isn't right. It's got to be this one. And you're looking at it going, wait, no, it's clearly this is longer. But is it? I mean, it isn't. These are actually the same. And what I did, and I kind of talked about it, is if you have a ruler, and I've got my green screen on still. If you have a ruler, you can measure across the original, and I'm getting about just under 3 centimeters, so 2.9. And if I measure across this way on screen, 2.9. They're the same length. And the dots, I'm getting about, what, 0.8 centimeters across? Sorry, I said 0.8. That doesn't make sense. 1.3 centimeters, and the dot's 1.3 centimeters. So I'm just taking a ruler up against the screen just to check it out. And if you didn't have a ruler, you could take a piece of paper. Oh, look at that. There's a Jedi finger puppet that one of my kids made. But I could use that and measure it, just and like mark with a pencil. You can use the tools around you. Have paper, pencil. If you have a ruler, awesome. But measure it. Get the exact. So in this case, it would be C. So if you had C, nice job. All the measurements are correct. If you didn't, that's okay too. Now you're just remembering, okay, when I'm talking congruent, everything needs to be the same. And for A or for B, there was differences, okay? Okay, let's scroll down, down, down this one. Now, you have these two figures are congruent. I'm telling you that. The problem says, hey, these are congruent. They're the same. So therefore, when it asks me, hey, are angles ABC and A prime, B prime, C prime congruent? Yeah, they are. Because they're corresponding points on already congruent shapes. Therefore, they'll be congruent. That angle will be congruent because they're congruent. That's like the whole definition of being congruent. So it's totally going to be congruent. They're the exact same shape, just turned. And it already even tells you too, with corresponding points marked. Yeah. See, A and A prime, those are corresponding. B and B prime, corresponding. C and C prime, corresponding. They're all congruent. You just be like, are they? Yeah, that's the definition of congruent. Like that's literally we can write. You can just be like, boom. Seriously, Mark. Seriously, Mark. That's the definition of congruent. And then smiley face. Yay. All right. I mean, you don't have to totally write that. You could if you wanted to write that. You don't have to write that. Okay, so that's that one. And then it says to measure the angles. I'm not going to make you do that. I mean, if you had a protractor and you wanted to put it up against the screen and give me like a rough estimate, I'm saying probably like 90, 110, 120, maybe 120 degrees. Yeah, I'd go with like 120 degrees. If you put 120, if you did it, good on you. Nice job. Okay, let's go. Look at that. Seriously, Mog. That's the definition of congruent is following me. That's kind of funny. Here, let's get rid of that. Okay, boom. All right, two circles, or these two figures, not two circles. These two figures. Here are two figures. Show, using measurement, that these two figures are not congruent. Well, and that would be a thing where you would use whatever measuring device you have. Like I just happen to have the ability to do a straight line with drawing here, right? And then I could pick it up and go, hey, see, totally div. You could say, well, Mock, they're clearly not the same. That's an oval and this is a circle. They're not the same. But ideally what you would do is you would measure and be like, hey, that oval is 3.5 centimeters across and the circle is like 3 centimeters. So they're different lengths. So therefore they can't be congruent because that's a whole definition of congruent is everything is the same. Okay. Last problems. And these are a good review. I like these because they're an excellent review for what we're working on. All right. Like, because this one right here, what is happening from A to B? Each picture shows two polygons, one labeled polygon A, this one, the blue one, and one labeled polygon B, the green one. Describe how to move polygon A to the position of polygon B using a transformation. I say polygon, weird. Polygon. So like what's happening? How could we describe the transformation from A to B? And just taking a quick look at it, this looks like it's mirrored, right? So when you're talking about the mirror, that's a reflection. you have to tell me where the line of reflection is. That's where you're taking it to the next step. So it's simply saying, hey, that's a reflection. Yeah, I get that. But now give me the details about it. Where is the line of reflection? And if you would tell me, hey, that's going to be a vertical line right through that connection of A and B. Is that the vertex, if we call that? That point, that vertex where A and B connect? That would be your line of reflection. So that is your line of reflection. All right, and you need to know that. That's going to be important. And then that's it. So this is a reflection. Line of reflection is right here. You could like label that. You can call it, hey, that line of reflection is called line W. But you don't have to. This is kind of, I like this because it kind of looks like eyes in there, doesn't it? Anybody else see that? Put like an eyeball here, and here. I can get a nose in here. What would that look like? You know, like, just keep going. Why are you? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm being strange. All right, let's clear that up. Done. Scrolling down, next one, rotation. This one's definitely a rotation. So on these, you want to talk about from A to B. Notice how this line, like that shape A, is just going to rotate right over to B. Right? And so you're looking at what is your point of rotation. The point of rotation would be right there where they're still connected. Okay, and then what would be the center of, or what would be the direction of the rotation? So I'm going from A to B, so I'm going this way, right? So what direction would that be? Let's see if I can get, oh yeah, here we go. So I'm going this way, right? That would be clockwise. So that'd be a clockwise rotation from this point right here. And then any guesses as to the degree on that one? I mean, you could take your compass, sorry, protractor, and lay it up there, right? And what you would measure then is you would measure this line and then to this line, which some of you might already see, that kind of looks like a right angle. So I would say that this was a 90-degree rotation clockwise. So if you had that written down, 90-degree clockwise rotation, then you did it. That would be the answer for this one. Okay. Oops. Select tool. There it is. That would be a 90 degrees clockwise rotation. Okay. Last one is just a translation because the shape is going up and over. Up and over. So this would be a translation, up 1 unit. And right 3 units. Now, how did I get that, right? So what I did is I just pick one point. And I chose this one right here. And I said, where's the corresponding point to this one? It would be right here, right? So this corner, this point right here, this angle on angle A, its corresponding part would be this B angle right there. So then I said, well, how do I get that point up over here? Well, in order to do that, I would go, let's get a different color here. Let's go Mr. Rain's favorite color. We would go up. Well, that's a huge arrow. We go up 1 and then right 3 in order to get there. And then that's how you would get your translation. Translation's up 1 unit and right 3 units. Now, another way we can write that if you really want to go and do this, right? If we start with the first heart is at x, y, then we would say that the transition went x, and we went right 3, so that'd be x plus 3, right? Because on the x-axis is the horizontal, and we moved it over 3, and then it would be y plus 1, because we went up 1, and going the up or down is the up, okay? Is the y, sorry, I said it is the up. So those would be your answers. And, you know, hopefully in going through the video, hearing me talk about it, maybe you've paused, maybe you did a little, you know, rewind and watch it again. You're kind of like just reviewing some of the terms, some of the ideas in preparation for tomorrow. If you have any questions, please email them to me. I'm available throughout the day today. I'll try to be emailing back as fast as possible. But I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying your on-demand Wednesday, and I hope you found this very helpful in understanding more of those terms. If you have any Khan Academy assignments to go through still, please jump into Khan Academy. Do that, and stay well. I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? All right. Have a good day. I got to find where the stop recording button is. There it is. Found it. Okay. Peace out. Video over. Mock out.